This is Nemesis, a rollercoaster at Alton Towers. It's probably the most recognisable coaster in the UK, and one of the country's best, in my opinion. But why is it so iconic? Let's find out.
This is all part of Britain's most magical experience, Alton Towers. And now, from the park that brought you, Katanga Canyon, the runaway mine train, and the haunted house, comes the ultimate thrill ride sensation. A sensation to take you to the edge of your seat and the limit of your senses. Ride and survive.
Nemesis is an inverted coaster, specifically one made by B&M. It was the first of its kind in Europe. It features 4 inversions and travels 2,349 feet every single time it goes around the track. It's themed to an ancient alien creature that slept under the ground for millennia, that's been disturbed and thus has awoken in Forbidden Valley to cause chaos and destruction. Held down and controlled by a sinister organisation known as the Phalanx, which recently, as part of the new Nemesis Reborn storyline, has taken over the full area, but have lost control of a forcibly mutated Nemesis. However, the ride was planned to be something very different, with Alton Towers having several different plans for the ride site. So, what was the original vision for this attraction? The year is 1992, and Alton Towers want to make a new thrill ride to replace the restriction-breaking Thunder Looper. However, they have a big problem. Trees. Alton Towers aren't allowed to build above them. This is due to the land the park sits on being protected, and to preserve the natural beauty, they must hide all rides under the tree line. So, when you can't build up, where do you go? Down. So, they make a big pit. Now, they had a pit, but what to put in it? They needed a revolutionary new ride to fit, and this could be it.
It's a radical new creation called the Pipeline. Built of fiberglass and steel, it's a multi-million-dollar thrill machine. Twisting and turning and snaking through space, the Pipeline coaster will ride neither on top of nor below the tracks, but between them. And the cars will not just loop, but roll like stunt planes.
The Pipeline was chosen to fill the parcel of land, so plans were made for the Secret Weapon, codenamed SW1. The ride was only planned to be 980 foot long, due to the planning restrictions. However, due to financial issues Arrow was facing, the ride was placed on hold. 1 year later, the project was revived, under the codename SW2, with an extended layout and a more thrilling ride. However, once John Wardley, the designer of the project, rode the prototype, the project was abandoned, as he found the ride, quote, cumbersome, slow and boring. So, put back to square one, the designers had to look for another new attraction to fill the void.
Six Flags, answer the call. To Batman, the ride. Imagine the air below, the sky above. You are Batman when you fly the world's only suspended outside looping nothing like it on Earth experience. Not even at Disney. Come, answer the call to Batman, the ride. Only at Six Flags Great America.
Bollinger & Maviard, or B&M for short, was a relatively new manufacturer at the time. They had created a revolutionary new coaster, an inverted coaster, which could hold riders under the track and send them upside down. After experiencing it, the team designing the ride knew this was it. So, under the codename of SW3, the ride, soon named, over a bottle of Southern Comfort, Nemesis, began construction.
Nemesis, the awesome new ride at Alton Towers. Sit back, It's fright time.
On March 19th, 1994, Nemesis opened to overwhelmingly positive reviews and long queues. It was praised for its sustained intensity and breakneck speed. The roar the ride makes as it flies throughout the valley is possibly the most iconic sound in the entire resort. The ride was so iconic, in fact, that it became one of the only coasters, not themed to an IP, to have sister rides sharing the same theme, including Nemesis Inferno at Thorpe Park, also an inverted coaster, and Nemesis Subterra, an indoor drop tower. With its brand rapidly becoming iconic, with things like Nemesis Beer and a Nemesis comic being published in the early 90s, and the ride becoming an integral part of Alton Towers. 30 years after it opened, with the ride now aged and worn, the park was required to make a decision: retrack and restore the ride, at a considerable cost, or tear it down. The park chose the former option, allowing the ride to be reborn. On November 11th, 2022, this video was played at the final night of the park's operating year.
By order of the Phalanx, as you may or may not be aware, Nemesis is closing due to her abnormal behavior. Today, as our investigation begins, we can assure you we have our most experienced team involved. I'm sure you'll join me in remembering what's been an iconic presence in many of our lives. For now, though, we must say good night, Nemesis. We'll be taking no further questions.
After one last ride, where 30 guests were chosen in a contest to take the final ride, along with the designers John Wardley and John Burton, the ride closed, and deconstruction quickly proceeded. Alton Towers remained silent about the progress of Nemesis until April 26, 2023, where a video revealed the new Nemesis track, or tentacles as the video called it, being found in a warehouse, with the hashtag #SeekTheTruth spreading. The Phalanx then reopened the Nemesis Subterra facility in May 2023, with further teasers stating that the Phalanx had lost control. Alton Towers then released this video.
Phalanx Experiment 1994224. Nemesis System Check. Stable. Status. Dormant. Genome Modification Energized. Nemesis DNA Extraction Engaged. Alert. High pressure. Alert. High pressure. Warning. Containment breach. Warning. Containment breach.
Whilst the marketing for the ride was building, the park was building the new ride, repainting the station and adding new theming, and a general retheme of the entire area, to fit the new black and red colour scheme sported by the new track, leading up to the reopening of the park for 2024, and on that day, the 16th of March 2024, Nemesis was reborn. The ride reopened on the 16th of March and was incredibly popular. Sporting 4.5-hour queues, the ride was praised with having the same experience as the original, but now, plus with bonus theming. Nemesis Reborn has been a huge success. But how popular was the ride to warrant such a huge investment? The decision to add Nemesis to Alton Towers is a decision that changed the park forever. It's a ride that hasn't been bested since, its limitations leading to a superb layout. It led the way for the rest of the world-class lineup at the park. The secret weapon codename would continue, with Oblivion, SW4, in 1998, then Air, SW5, in 2002, 13 in 2010, The Smiler in 2013, and Wickerman, SW8, in 2018. However, Nemesis still reigns supreme as the best coaster in the park. With renewed theming and ride experience, the ride is sure to thrill guests for years to come. Thank you very much for watching, and goodbye.